gewaltige Schwiegen Shabbos, Shabbos, heilige Shabbos, Yamamama, 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 Shabbos, everybody. Good Yantiv. Good Shabbos. Good Yantiv. On page 6, everyone, we invite all of you in with Shalom Aleichem. We wish you peace and presence and blessing. As we begin this service, Cyrus, I don't know if I can't hear myself, but as we begin the service, which is the service of Shabbat, it's really Shabbat and it's Yantiv, it's a double 8th day of Pesach and Shabbat, and generally, I don't know what that sound is, Cyrus. It sounds like, yeah, Woody the Woodpecker, exactly. Sure. Ve'odeka. So in our tradition, we do not have Kabbalat Shabbat on a Friday night that coincides with Yantif, believe it or not. So you're thinking, what am I doing here tonight? Didn't we come for Kabbalat Shabbat? Well, the tradition is very sensitive to the feelings of Yantif that only comes around on an annual basis. So it's only once a year that we'll have Shabbat on Passover. And so the tradition has it that we actually move right into the regular evening prayers with just a brief mention of Shabbat to honor that. But here at Romemu, for years, we've done a full Shabbat, Kabbalat Shabbat. And this evening, we're going to just be doing a mix of traditional and not so traditional. It is customary on Shabbat morning of Passover to read the book of Song of Songs, Canticles, Shir HaShirim. It's also the tradition in Sephardi communities and communities of the Iberian Peninsula to also begin Friday night every week with Song of Songs. And so we'll be singing a number of songs from the Song of Songs, as well as the Chadodi in honor of this Friday night Shabbat. Begin. Ani Yeshena, I am asleep, but my heart is awake, which can be found in your Sidirim on page 4. So as someone with the name David, it's the Song of Songs is such a powerful reminder to me that it means beloved, right? Dodi and David. What's powerful about that word Dod in Hebrew, David or Daled, Vav, Daled, those three letters, really two letters, one is repeated, Daled, and then a Vav, and then a Daled, like DVD, Daled, Vav, Daled. Is that each letter in Hebrew also is a word. So the letter Dalet is also the word Delet, which means door. And of course, Passover is the holiday of the door. We stand by the door. For Elijah, we stand at the door facing the fear of the unknown and passing not over but through. And I remember as a child, one of my teachers said to me, David, your name means beloved, but really it's a story, because as I've said here in the shul, two doors with a vav in the middle. You walk through one door and then there's the vav, the letter of hooking or being on the hook or being connected, and then the exit, He said, God should bless you with many entries and exits, kind of being able to exit through one path and enter a new path, or even be able to start anew. And so when in Song of Songs, Dodi li v'ani lo, the beloved is to me and I am to the one, the beloved, who is the shepherd amongst the lilies or amongst the roses, it means that love is entering and exiting with connection. It means being able to open ourselves again and again to the greatest and most courageous thing that one can do, which is to receive and give love. On page 4, right above where we just sang, Dodi li v'ani lo. From one Dodi to Lecha Dodi, we turn to page 23 and 24 as we welcome the bride of Shabbat, the beloved of Shabbat together. Elohai, Kim Sos Chatan, Akala, תמלא ושמנה שיר חדש ובנענה נעלה ושמנה שיר חדש ובנענה נעלה במברה ללי במברה ללי אי לה 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 אי לה 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 אי לה 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 Please remain standing as we turn to face Yerushalayim on page 26 and 27. I'm sorry, 27, 28. Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbos. Tov Ledos LeAdonai Lizamer Shimcha Elyon Yagid Baboker Chasdecha Unas Chamadelos. Magalu Masech Adonai Yonam Kumak Shvosech Ikshbar Lo Yedos Yom Hine Oivecha Havagya Hine Vecha Yovedu Yispardu Kol Po Le'aven Vatarem Kirein Karni Balosi Veshemen Ranan Vatabeit Eini Beshurai Bakami Malam Bireim Dotishmanu Znai Tadi Katama Adonai Malach, give us salvation, page 29. Vavesh Adonai Ozi Sazar, oh, Avtikom Tei Babatim Manachos. Nirnos noch yami kolas maim rabbi madirim ishbirei yom adir b'marom Adonai. Eido secham nemno leveschan ava kodesh. Ava yavam leorech yamim. As we bring to mind those who are in need of healing tonight, as we stand at the doorway to enter the communal call to prayer and the welcome, invite healing, which you can find the words for on page 113 on the bottom of the page, Harofeh Shivur Elev.
Healer of the broken-hearted, binder of their wounds, counter of uncountable stars, you know who they are.
חבש לעצבותה מונה מספר לכוכבים מונה מספר לכוכבים לכולם שמות יקרא Moshe, Aaron, David, Shlomo, Etzar, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, Bil, Hazil, Badil, Naomi, Virus. Yivarech v'Rabbeis kol hacholim bavur shekulanu mispalalim ba'avuram. Yizchar zeh HaKadosh Baruch Hu yimalei rachamim aliyim nachlim ma'am l'rabatam achazikem l'chayutam mishlach lahem mehira refuah shleima min hashamayim. Yirmach eivareihem l'shezagidei b'toch shar chole Yisrael v'toch shar chole olam kulo. We pray for healing in body, heart, mind, and spirit for all of our loved ones, for all of those whom we hold in our hearts. May there be healing today and every day for all of the broken hearts and broken bodies in this broken world, so that we might sing a broken hallelujah together for that healing. We can all be seated. So we'd like to welcome you if you're here for the first time. If you're in the Zoomagog, if you're in our virtual space for the first time also, we'd like to really be warm in welcoming you to this space. If anybody's here for the first time, would like to stand up and say your name, that would be cool. Don't stand up for other people, or like don't have other people, like no forcing, no coercion. If you feel comfortable, check it out, see if it's a safe space. Will be the Nachshon. There's a tradition that says that when the Israelites were standing by the Reed Sea, afraid to go forward, some really crazy cat named Nachshon just jumped in. He said, like, let's do it. So who's our Nachshon tonight? All right, Nachshon in the house. We have a couple Nachshons. Okay. Nice. It's always easier when a group gets up. That's great. But we're going to work our way around. Wow, a really crazy group. So let's work from the front to the back in this section, then the front to the back in this section. And for the sake of our people online, I'm going to repeat what you're saying, because this is kind of like we don't want them to feel like they're left out. So if you could say it loud and proud, that'd be cool. And where are you from, Hunter? Okay, Hunter's here from Florida, everybody. Welcome, Hunter. In the next row, yeah. Hi. Gina, you said? Jean. Jean from downtown. Welcome, Jean. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Nice. So Gabrielle, you said? Gabrielle? Gabrielle from Argentina originally, but now new to the neighborhood. Welcome, Gabrielle. And yes?
My name's Jen, and I'm from New Jersey.
Jan? Jen from New Jersey. Welcome, Jen. And next to you, yeah?
I'm Courtney from New York.
Okay, Courtney. Welcome. Nice to have you. In the back, yeah. You were really the first one. I just want to give you credit. Thank you. Okay, so Nate, back, what did you say? Nate, Nathan. Nice to have you here from Portland, but an expat, right? So welcome back to New York. All right, on this side, okay. I know I saw over there, but we're gonna start here, yeah?
Hello, I'm Mary. I'm here in New York.
Welcome, Mary. Oh, Holly brought you good. Okay, nice.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm living in Philly. I'm here as partner.
Welcome, Jessica. What was it?
Jessica Little.
Jessica. No, I'm saying you're from Jessica, but what's your name?
Oh, I'm Alex.
Alex from Philly, you said, in front of you. Got it, okay. Oh, nice. Okay, is it Dario? What did you? Daniel. So I'm a little bit stoned from that davening. That's what's going on here. I just honestly that prayer service just was like I'm flying. I don't even know where I am. I want to introduce myself tonight. My name is David. I'm really here for the first time right now, and there's somebody in my building from Italy also. His name is Dario. So Daniel, originally from Italy, got it. I'm becoming more sober. Here we go. Yes.
Hi, Christina from Merrick, Long Island.
Christina from Merrick, Long Island. Welcome, Christina. Good to have you here. And yeah, in the back, are you?
Hi, I'm also Daniel. I'm from Virginia, and I'm good friends with these cool singers over there.
All right, nice. Daniel, got it. Daniel from Virginia, but friends with these amazing worship leaders, our amazing Claudia and Mark. Yes. Rick from Northern California. Okay, Rick, welcome. Nice to have you. And over here? Annette from New York. Nice, Annette. Thank you. Anybody else? Did we miss anybody? First timers? All over there, yeah. Ron from Queens, spending more time in Manhattan. That's great. Why did everybody laugh about that?
It's like he's apologizing.
Oh, he's apologizing that it's not. I want to spend more time in Queens, Ron, I love that you want to spend more time in the city. Tell everybody here who's around the corner to spend more time. If you're around the corner, Ron is here from Queens, and you are not, and you're around the corner. So come on in, everybody. If anybody new from the Zuma space, the Zuma sphere, the Zuma? Joseph from Malvern, PA. Wait, so Nancy, why did you introduce Joseph from Malvern? Do you know Joseph, and is he there with you, Nancy? Okay, you'll let me know later. Awesome. A couple of very brief announcements, everybody, just so everybody can know before we stand together. Tomorrow morning service will be at 9:30. We will have Yizkor tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a morning to remember loved ones, and so if you commemorate a loved one through the Yizkor service, tomorrow morning will be Yizkor. I'm not telling you what time it is. We start at 9:30, so 9:30 will be our Yizkor service. Starts at 9:30. We have next Friday night, Next Friday night, we have Yom HaShoah, reading of the names, next Thursday will be the reading of the names. Every year, the Upper West Side Jewish community comes together to read names of those who perished in the Holocaust and the Shoah. And Romemu will be a part of that group, as it always is. Our slot is at 3 o'clock, the mystical hour, 3 o'clock, for a half hour of reading of the names at the Jewish Center on 86th Street. Please look at our website for more information. And next Friday night, April 29th, we will have a special guest speaker in honor of Yom HaShoah and a dinner to follow, so please sign up for that. Avi Noam Sharon is the editor-in-chief of the Israeli Supreme Court Project. He's also a rabbi trained in Israel, and he kind of has an incredibly fascinating story about his own personal, his family's personal story around the Holocaust, and that should prove to be a really powerful evening. That will be here and also online. Home hosting, May 13th, we'll have home hosting, which is the ability to go into people's homes, also to be virtually in people's homes together. It's so important for us to begin that practice again in our return to in-person services. So please RSVP by May 1st to get a seat for the May 13th Friday night home hosting. And speaking of Jessica, so Jessica Litwack is a member of our community who is both a poet and also incredible playwright, and she's written a very powerful play called My Heart is in the East. And it is going to be read on Monday, May 2nd, across the street at the Romemu Center. We invite you to come. There'll be a poetry workshop and discussion to follow that as well. 7:30 on May 2nd, Monday night, May 2nd, across the street. Thank you, Jessica, for your gift. And last but not least, thanks to the generosity of Gil Mandelzies, we, once again this year, will be putting a Shabbat of the Child forward, the third year, where we lift up heretofore the only synagogue that I know of, and that's not a pledge of honor. We wish every synagogue would have a Shabbat that honors and lifts up children and the importance of making safe space for children in synagogues and institutions, educating and preventing abuse, God forbid, and just raising awareness around it. The entire weekend is dedicated to that, as is the entire month, thanks to your generosity, Gil. We will have a month-long programming around this important issue, policy, advocacy, and so on, and also celebration of children. And for parents, there'll be resources and teachings, so it'll be an amazing month, the entire month of May. May 7th, that is my youngest son Or's birthday. So May 7th, that weekend will be a Shabbat of the Child. Okay, everybody. We're gonna invite you to please rise for the call to community, the Baruch Hu. Page 31 and 32. את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'dvar ma'ariv harabim, chachma v'dan shabim. Ores yom v'layla kol heles v'mipnei chosh v'choshech v'mipnei yom avira yom v'vilam Mehila chaya v'kayemet Tametim loch aleinu leolam v'en Berucha ad shechina Hamariva Aravim Yain Ainam Yain Ainam Yain Avatulam, page 36. With a love that is beyond space and time, all of those who've loved us are here with us in this moment. They've made our life. They've given length to our days. Yavatcha al tasir mimenu ay leolamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael Haydayinai Yadadai 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 Shema On page 39 and 40, V'yohavta et Adonai Elohecha
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך
והיו הדברים האלה
אשר אנוכי
מצווך
היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבביך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושכתך וקומך ושבתם להיות עבדך והיית תפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
We continue on page 41 with the second paragraph of the Shema, 42, 43. I'm Shemot Yishmo Matzos, I'm sure Nali Mitzvah Coming Ulafan. Yachal Vazavat Hashem Ulachem, Ben Yiften Levavchem, Sartem, Vavatim Lemachem Shem. V'samtem Esrael al Vavchem Yal Nafshechem, V'kshartem V'smol Sal Yedchem, V'hayu L'todavos Ben Inechem L'matem Osav, Amis Benichem L'daber Bam, V'shitechem L'veisecha V'lachtecha V'derech Shalom. למען יבואי מכם, ימי בניכם על אדמה שיש באדוני, לעבוד צריכים לעשות להם, כי מהשמיים על הארץ ויאמר אדוני El Moshe Lemor, the breath of life, spoke to Moses, speak to the God-wrestling people, say to them, make fringes for the wings of your garments throughout your generations, and put a thread of blue in the corners. These threads will be wing tufts for you, guiding you on the right path. You will look at them and then remember all the ways of the breath of life and do them. Not be misdirected by your hearts or by your eyes when you are drawn after them. In this way, you will remember and observe my ways and be holy to the breath of life, your God. I am the breath of life, your God, who carried you out of Egypt, that I might be a God to you. I am the breath of life, your God, the God of being that manifests to you. That God is a true God. Adonai Elohechem, Amen. Page 46. On page 47 and 48. שבחו ויהודו לשמו ומלכוסו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לכהנו שירם בשמחה רבה ואמנו כולם. כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נעדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. איי 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 ay 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 am ay oh yum ay 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 am ay oh bay am ay 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 nay 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 ay nay 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 am ay nay nay ay nay nay ay nay nay my am בנך בוקר ים משה ומרים זה גיליונו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגלום יד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום on page 49. Pray for peace. May all children tonight have safe space. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו Good advice. It's a tov lefnech ve'esh. Oye v'chei v'dara. Ufros aleinu v'sukat shlach. U'shmor tzedseinu v'ayinu l'chaim v'l'shon v'yatav yad olam. Ufros aleinu v'sukat shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai, habor sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'al Yerushalayim. Please rise if you are able. V'shamu on page 51-52. V'shameru b'nei
Israel et HaShabbat
Yes, Hashabbat maslah
Sot et HaShabbat Bedorotam berit olam Beini uben bnei Yisrael Otirei olam Shen yamim asa Adonai את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי
חצי קדיש יזקדל ויזקדש שמי רבה וידע במושס מועדי אדוני בני ישראל יזקדל ויזקדש שמי רבה
אמן
עמד יברח חירוסי וימליך מלכוסי מחיי כל ומחיי כל בית ישראל במגל ובזמן כל בימרון יש מירם במבורך עולם ומעל
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה ושבחתה ונחמתה דמיון ועלמה ויאמרו
A special Amidah tonight in honor of the Chag. It's page 90.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
In what would feel like, I guess, a modern day version of a Hasidic story, I began learning this Passover in preparation for the holiday, a book that was edited by my dentist. Yes, indeed, on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, right across the street from where I used to live. I happened to walk into a place that had Reuven Mall, it was on the shingle, and walked in and found someone exactly my age with a nice little yarmulke on, who went to Yeshiva University like me, grew up with a father who was like a professor of philosophy, and who got smicha, became a rabbi, and then went back to become a dentist. And in his spare time, in between making fillings, he was in the back room. Where's Reuven? He's editing. He's learning Torah in between the teeth. And every time we sat together, I managed somehow to ask him to take out the tube so I could ask him a question about what he was teaching, and he asked me about my sermons, and we become quite good friends. And as he began to edit some of these books, he would send them to me. And the philosopher that he is most gripped by was a professor up at Yeshiva University, Rabbi Dr. Eliezer Berkovitz, Zichrono Livracha. He's a great philosopher who wrote extensively within the Jewish community, the modern Orthodox Jewish community in particular, and wrote extensively about the Holocaust and other very complicated issues of the 20th century. And in the latest book, Reuven's book that I read in preparation for this Chag, we have this entry from Rabbi Berkovitz on the counting of the Omer, the 49-day period between Passover and the next holiday, Shavuot. So we have 7 weeks between the second day of Passover and the holiday called Pentecost, or the holiday of weeks, which will come with the revelation at Sinai. And so here's what Dr. Berkowitz had to say about the unique formulation, Usfartem lachem, and you shall count for you. The Hebrew term in the Bible, the book of Leviticus, is you shall count lachem, for you, which again, for those who study the Bible, each word is important, and so if there's a seemingly superfluous word, it's kind of like, what is that word doing there? Lachem, for you. Why count for you? So says Dr. Berkowitz. What does for you mean? I suggest we read it and translate it as follows, he writes. You shall count unto you. You shall count days and weeks, that your days on earth may be complete. You shall count, yes, there is no other way of organizing life efficiently, but by counting, we must not forget our mathematics, he writes. But let your counting be for you, i.e., all of your countings should be related to you, to your life, to your true needs, not just your ambitions and vanities and passions. You shall, of course, count, yes, but do not forget to count and to measure and to weigh yourself with open and critical eyes. You shall count certainly, but do not forget to take stock of the greatest fortune that you possess. Do not forget to count the days of your life. Did you work all day to amass new sums? Do not sit down in the evening to count the sums and numbers you made. First go into a quiet corner and say, this was one whole day of my short life. Ponder on the day, how you spent it. Was there any sense in it? How are you to use the fruits of your toiling so that your work may not be the wasting of your days, but the fullness of a life lived to some reasonable end and a satisfactory purpose? That is how you shall count, that the days of your life might be complete. This text from Rabbi Berkowitz, Dr. Berkowitz, is so profoundly connected to the first Torah that I taught this Passover on the meaning of matzah, according to Rav Kook, Zichrono Livracha, the great chief rabbi of Palestine, the first rabbi of Palestine, wrote that the meaning of matzah is that matzah, he says, hold within it the secret of growth, the intense concentration of energies that matzah is holding and holding and holding. It doesn't express itself in more than 18 minutes. We stop it short as if its intensity is still hidden within it, and only with the breaking of the matzah at the Seder does its fullness come about. Rav Kook wrote, Lechem Oni, this impoverished bread is also Lechem she'onim alav dvarim harbe, that this matzah has within it the secret of an intense focus of energy. Wonderful symbol. But this completes it because not only is matzah an intensification of energy, but it's also the withdrawal of energies from all around and focusing them right into the center of the matzah. Like the tzimtzum, like the divine withdrawal before creation, say the mystics, there's an intense focus of energy in this matzah that comes to fruition in this teaching. In its release, does it lead to a counting of your days that might be full? But there's something missing between that concentrated energy of matzah and this teaching from Dr. Berkowitz. A friend of mine this week was sitting with me in my office, and I was telling her about the last couple of years and about all the things that went on in my life, and specifically things that went on here in the shul, and bringing her up to date. She hadn't seen me in a couple of years, I hadn't seen her. And so I told her, some things are still here and some things aren't here anymore. And it's there's a bit of an absence. I said there, and she said to me, without missing a beat, she said, well, if there's an absence, what are you filling it with? What did it make room for that you are now filling it with, she said. And it hit me so hard because I then began to think about how nature abhors a vacuum, and that when an intense release of energy happens, or when a withdrawal of energy happens, when we remove something or when we express something, how does it go? Where is it going? The Torah is brilliant in this way. We're released from slavery, and as the great philosopher Isaiah Berlin wrote, freedom from is just the first stage. Okay, great, I'm out of school. I've got a whole day. And now the next level, what am I going to do with it? The anxiety, the paralysis. Now that I have my freedom, my hard-won freedom, now that we've broken the matzah, it's been expressed in a profound way. We're free. Berlin said, free from, yes, but free to what? What are you free to do? What will you do with your precious gift? Because if you don't plan it, if we don't actively engage how we want to count our days, they will count, but not in the way that we want them to. So now we're out of that relationship. Great. Tick-tock, tick-tock. So crazy. Now I'm back in the same relationship. How did that happen? Now I'm that job, thank God, I'm free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm not at that job any longer. Okay, great. So are you working with the void, or are you avoid dancing around the void? How we actively engage what has been freed up by the space in our drawers, our closets, our lives, our hearts, our space is vital. So Torah says, okay, you're free from Egypt. You see those Egyptians on this evening and tomorrow and yesterday. We saw the Egyptians, that thing that we feared the most. It's done, and now what? Not to rush you. It's not like your mother, your father, whomever it is, your friend saying, okay, hurry up. He's like, okay, listen, I've been working for 20 years. Give me like 5 minutes off. But there's a profound spiritual truth that my friend unlocked in me. But she actually engaged me to think, okay, that period is over now. I've been mourning it. I've been grieving it. I've been thinking actively about it. I've been actually trying to rebuild it and to restructure it. And she said, well, okay, but what's going on in that empty space? As you begin to count your way towards Sinai, as our tradition says, as we begin to count our way towards Shavuot, towards the holiday where we receive our marching orders, our mission statement, our what we should do with our lives, there's a space of emptiness there that invites articulation. It invites a precious opportunity for us to do something differently. Because if we don't, it'll be the same. We'll just, as John Kabat-Zinn said, wherever you go, there you are. There's Big Ben and there's Parliament. It's like, oh, wow. How precious that tzimtzum, how precious that removal or that expression of energy that opened up now how we might build a life in a different way. How we might shift gears and manifest something new in our lives, something more optimal, more aligned, more true, more connected, so that we're not there yet again. In that way, Pesach is really the holiday for love. In that way, it really makes me understand why we read the Song of Songs tonight, tomorrow morning. It's not only because spring love is in the air and, it's awesome. It's not just that everything is verdant again and alive again, but love is what we're looking for. And love is, if done with care and concern, we might enter that space of not knowing, of, okay, that's not there anymore. How might I build this with love as our guide? What would love say needs to happen next? What would love demand of me in this moment? And how might we be with one another in that way as we journey towards Sinai? I think that's what Dr. Berkovitz was trying to say. Usfartem lachem. Count lachem for you. See this opening, this empty, as a possibility to fill it with something that really counts, so that we might build step by step, day by day, towards a new reality and new orders for the next stage of our individual and collective lives together. May we have the courage to do so and the clarity to engage that practice. Please rise. On page 80, on page 78, I'm sorry, still a little bit stoned. Where are we here? Page 79, 78. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, לתת גידולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו עם משפחות האדמה, ששם חלקנו עמכם, וגור עלינו עם כל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך שהוא נוטה שמיים יוסד, הארץ ומושב יקר בשמיים, מלך שכינות לזו בגב ימים אלוהינו. והשבותה אל לבביך כי אדוני Elohim.
Hu ha'Elohim v'hashevota
Hashivota
el levavecha
Elevacha
ki havaya
Ki Havaya
hi ha'Elohim
Hi Elohim Bashamayim Ha'aretz B'dach V'Eretz Al Ki Nekabel Echad Meir on page 79 and 80 Lirot Meir Rabbi Diver Tu Zech Levi Kilulim Nirat V'Eretz קבלו כולם מרום מחוסיך, ושמח עליהם מהיר על יולמת, כי מחושך יולמת תמלוך בכבוד, כך עשו בשור עשיך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר בחיה
Adonai
ולמלך
al kol
על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, on that day יהיה הוויה Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo. If you are signing the Mourner's Kaddish this evening for a loved one, we invite you to remain standing at this moment. It is our custom here to ask people, not force them, but ask them if they feel comfortable saying the name of those they are remembering out loud and sharing it with the community. And so we'll go around the sanctuary. We invite those in the Zoomagog space as well to use the chat for that function. In this space, we remember this morning, this evening. Sarah. Karen. Mishanu. Sharon. Jessica. Lori. Lori? Okay, yes. Yes, we'll move from the front to the back, yeah. Oh. Anyone else? Yes. Mark? Thanks, Mark.
My great aunt Eleanor Cloud.
Michelle Broder, Sydney and Marilyn Buckman, April Buckman, Dahani Susana Escobar, Gabriel, Naomi Dezia, Calvin Green, Iris Bach, Rosario Ibarra, Bertha Sutton, Nancy Levy, Yael Sola, Acedo Friedman, Shelia Sachs, Francis Delahanty, Irving Selig, Bloom, Hermina Shoyemma, Nita Nelson, and all of those who have no one to say Mourner's Kaddish for them. If it is your custom to stand for those mourners, please rise at this moment. The Mourner's Kaddish can be found in your Siddur, in your prayer book on page 115. Yiskadal v'yiskada shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'olma divrach chirusei v'yamlich malchusei v'chayechon v'yamechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael v'agala uvizman koriv imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah v'ach le'alam imei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei Yisadar v'yis'aleh v'yis'ala shmei dekutsha brichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעולמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה, החיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
Amen.
Yehi Zichram Baruch. We invite all of those who are seated to please rise and join those who are standing as we make our way towards Kiddush and thank yous and the counting of this evening's Omer. Into this cup of blessing, everyone, our dear friends who are manifesting our services and blessings, and thank you to our JSI Rabbinic Fellow Jackson Mercer, and to Shoshana Jedwab and Claudia Sachs and Mark Luban. We also thank you to Cyrus and to Anna behind the scenes, moderating Natalia, Ryan, Victor, Justin, Freddie, Erica Fernandez, and Blanca Castillo. Also into this cup of blessing, all of you who came tonight. Really, it means so much. I can't say this enough, that it's such a vital thing that we have our friends in the Zumagog, and a big shout out to all of you there, Nancy and David and Ariella and Ronnie and Joe and Bracha and Carol and Sandy and 100 or so of you in screens. Thank you so much for being present with us here, and also to those who walked and came from different places. Community actually feels like this, right? And in the coming days and weeks and months, in the Romemu community and in other communities, the path to rebuilding these muscles, these social muscles, is really vital. They've atrophied over the last 2 years, and we're starved for these workouts. So come back, and we hope to have many more opportunities, not just in prayer, but also across the street in the Romemu Center, to be together in community, to break bread or matzah, as the case may be, and get to know one another beyond just singing together and lifting our spirits together. The Kiddush can be found on page,
7. Are you doing high Kiddush?
it's both, it's a combination. So find the Kiddush, everybody, and then call it out. It's somewhere in there. I'm
It's
not
on
gonna,
page 88 and page 98.
nice. ויבוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ, וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי, מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבוס ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו,
אשר עשה.
ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו.
כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
סברי חבריי, ברוך אתה, אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. Page 90, ברוך אתה, אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר, it's not page 90, אשר בחר בנו עם כל העם, רומנו כל לשון, וקידשנו במצוותיו, ותיתן לנו אלוהים באהבה. שבתות ומועדים לשמחה, חגים מוזמנים לששון. את יום השבת ואת יום חג המצות הזה, זמן חירוסנו, מאהבה מקרא הקודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, page 98. כי באנו בחרתך, ועושנו קידשת עם כל העמים, ושבת ומועדי קודשך, בשמחה וששון, ואהבה ורצון בשמחה וששון, הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת וישראל והזמנים.
Amen.
Okay, everybody, let's count our lives. Let's count together for Lachem, for ourselves, for filling the void with something proactive and beautiful and constructive and amazing. Page 103. L'Shem Yichud.
L'Shem Yichud, Kudsha Brichu Ushchintei, Hineni Muchanu Mezuman, Lekai
של ספירת העומר,
של ספירת העומר, של
ספירת העומר,
של ספירת העומר, שבע שבתות תמימות תהיינה,
and be full.
שבע שבתות
תמימות תהיינה. הנה לילה, הנה, 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 Baruch atah.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם
אשר קידשנו,
אשר
קידשנו
במצוותיו וציוונו
על ספירת העומר,
על ספירת העומר,
על ספירת העומר.
על ספירת העומר.
On the bottom of page 103. היום שבעה ימים שאין שבוע אחד לעומר. מלכות שבחסד tonight is the end of the first full week of counting of the Omer. It is Malchut Shebechesed, the embodiment of loving kindness. May it fill all of our spaces. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos. Shabbat. Chag Sameach. Chag Yantiv. Good Shabbos. Good Yantiv.